Hello and welcome to this very special Mandela Day edition of Trendz Travel. Today we find ourselves smack bang in the middle of exclusive books right here in Sandton City, and what we're doing here is a surprise, so I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. Right now, though, we invite you to join us as we celebrate the life of renowned musician, activist and philanthropist Johnny Clegg, who sadly passed away this week. Among his many achievements, Clegg started Juluka, which was South Africa's first interracial band, which broke many barriers, cultural barriers that is, and also broke many laws, as it was illegal in our country at the time. Our country now celebrates his life.
As we celebrate Mandela Month, we also pay tribute to one of South Africa's legendary singer and activist, Johnny Clegg, who lost his battle with pancreatic cancer this past week. Popularly known as White Zulu, Johnny Clegg's music career breakthrough came in the 70s when he and musician Sipho Mchunu formed a mixed-race band called Juluka. The band won the hearts of many fans here at home and abroad and recorded 7 albums, 2 of which went platinum and 5 others gold.
Was, been having a good time, sleeping together in the bush there, spend time in the park everywhere, Used to have a lot of good time, yeah. But I must say, man, I've lost. That was a good guy for me. He was a, I said to the people, whoever asked me, I said, if I can do something, I said, no. To me, it's finished, that's it.
Clegg was also known as an activist. He had been an outspoken critic of the apartheid government of South Africa through song. It was his outspoken nature that earned him recognition for his service to the Rainbow Nation. In 2012, he was awarded the Presidential Order of the Ikamanga.
He was incredible in that he, I think what I recall so much about him was the anthropological side of things. It really was. It was quite something. He knew. He really was an African. The crowd roared, and that's when you realize that Johnny had crossed the Rubicon. That he was part of. We were one. And it was a wonderful memory. Johnny was a hard worker. He was a quiet man. He was somebody that didn't jawl, who didn't see him out. He kept to himself quite a lot, actually. But there were a lot of memories.
The 66-year-old musician retired from performing in 2018 and bid his fans farewell with an international tour named The Final Journey, appearing with a variety of artists, including his son Jesse Clegg. In 1990, Johnny Clegg wrote a song for his only son Jesse titled Cruel, Crazy, Beautiful World. And in 2017, just before he dropped the mic on his final tour, Jesse dedicated a song titled I've Been Looking to his beloved father. Clegg was laid to rest at West Park Cemetery in Johannesburg. He is survived by his wife and son.
For many adults, a trip to the hair salon is a time for pampering and relaxation. But quite the opposite is true for kids, until Kidz Corner. Kidz Corner is a child-friendly space with super patient hairstylists who understand the hair care needs of kids. Puling and her daughter stopped by to try out this concept. Getting salon pampered is not only for adults. These hair-savvy kids know a good hair day requires a visit to a salon, and they show up in numbers. An expert in kids grooming gave us an insight into the latest kids hair trends.
Kidz Corner came from my personal experiences growing up doing my hair. I hated doing my hair. I remember crying at the salon and they'd say, my mom couldn't manage my hair as well. And then growing up, I'd go to a salon and I'd see a little girl sitting there crying. Same experience. And it resonated within me, and I was like, we have to change the narrative. And I decided to open a kiddies hair salon. Kids salon is more child friendly. I mean, for one, when some parents walk in or some kids, they think it's a creche because the concept is not so very well known at the moment, you know. Just the look and the feel of the salon has to be child friendly. Another thing is the stylists, how gentle they are, patience. I mean, we've plaited kids walking, so that's just the patience, the level of patience that we take. As far as I know, and based on the research I've done, before there was not much kids salons for ethnic hair, and I believe I started this for the African child, the brown child, you know.
With ethnic hair, often described as unmanageable, there has been the very divided debate on whether to relax or not to relax.
In terms of products, times have evolved. I mean, there are more products for natural hair. You go on YouTube, there's tips on how to look after natural hair. As per before, when the hair was tangled, you just put chemical on it. You know what I mean? So there are, like, if there's relaxing involved, and you don't advise it for under 12s, is that you do it when it's, I don't know, I don't like it. I really don't like it, but it's a last option. There are moms that really can't manage hair anymore, you know what I mean? But there are products that soften the hair.
The next big question is, who sets the styling trends in kiddies' hair?
With kiddies' hair trend, at the moment it's gonna sound a little bit pompous, but we create the trend. That's what I've seen on social media. Kidz Corner puts out a hairstyle and every salon comes. So every week, or there is a salon, a style of the week that would put on, boost it on social media, and everybody just goes crazy about that. And they come back with our work and they want to do it. So at the moment, I think we are the trendsetters.
Little girls are little girls, and almost all of them look at Disney characters and want those flowing locks. But yes, princesses in ethnic hair can definitely be done.
Ethnic hair, we do so many hairstyles, the beads alone, where Princess Sophia can't put beads on, but as a little black girl, you can do that with your hair. So I feel like the other races should be jealous of what the capabilities of our ethnic hair, what we can do with it. And the little girls love it. They love chopping and changing hairstyles.
It seems that the girls have it all, but there's something for the boys too. Watching a kiddies flick while they have their haircut.
Boys come in for haircuts. They are becoming trendy now. They're doing these hair fade cuts, and then they plait their hair here. I forgot what that hairstyle is called, but I'm seeing a lot of that as well, and having it relaxed and it just stands up. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, those are the things they're doing.
So what is the next step for Kidz Corner?
Because the space is so small, have a corner for mummies as well eventually, because it's very convenient for the mom to come here and they love our work as well. And there'll be a mummy's corner, so yeah, eventually.
We've got so much more exciting stuff coming up after the break, so don't go anywhere.
We stay on the visuals, they're busy shooting.
We drove around this.
It is estimated that about 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't been created yet. On Network, we don't shy away from having these conversations.
Nothing wrong with wanting to be a doctor, nothing wrong with wanting to be a lawyer, but we're talking digital skills. We do coding, we do computer literacy. Beyond what you know, here's what else you can actually look into as a career.
If South Africa invests properly in tech, it can be the next China.
Be a part of our network, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
On Full View, the end of the day means unpacking the day's events. We recap all major news stories from around the world.
The African Union's decision to suspend Sudan's membership was made by the AU Peace and Security Council.
It was a unanimous decision. We said we'll give them up to 60 days
and have in-depth discussions on what's happening in our country.
This economy, for it to grow, you need people that will be working in order for them to be able to have the buying power.
Nelson Mandela Day is an international day set up by the United Nations in 2009, which celebrates the legacy and life of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela spent 67 years fighting social injustice, and it's for this reason that millions around the world spend 67 minutes of their time promoting peace and fighting poverty.
We're at Sandton Convention Centre today, and we are participating in an initiative called Rise Against Hunger, which is an initiative that's been, in fact, this is its 10th year that it's been in existence, and it's in honour of Mandela's centenary, very, very special year this year as well, because this is where all volunteers get behind this initiative, contribute 67 minutes of their time to pack food and gifts, etc., for those that are really needing some sustenance and some energy in today's day and age.
Trendz Travel attended Soho Sun Hotel's biggest packaging event, where some of South Africa's favourite personalities also added the power of their voices to the room in support of the Rise Against Hunger campaign for Mandela Day.
Today I think it's just about spending time with like-minded people to help the less privileged. I mean, we spending 67 minutes packing meals for those who aren't as privileged as us, and I just think that it's a blessing to be doing this. So for me it's really personal because I have a background coming from, not having much to eat when I was younger, and so I understand the struggles that people go through. So now being privileged enough to give back is just so great. It's like a blessing to me. So yeah, I just want to have fun and then impact as many lives as we can through this initiative.
Well, I'm about to pack some meals for the less fortunate, and this is something very close to my heart. Philanthropy and humanitarianism is something very close to my heart. I believe that us as artists or whatever it is in the entertainment space that we do, we should redirect the spotlight to what matters most, and this is one of those projects to do so. So 67 minutes for Madiba is a very good way of going about it.
I'm doing this because I believe in giving back, and what I'm expecting for today is I'm not actually sure. I know that we're packing sandwiches. I'm very used to this kind of thing, but I don't think on this level, because I believe there's quite a lot of people. But I'm very excited to give back. Like I said, I believe it's 67 minutes every day if you can.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I think. For a great cause. Obviously you have to remember the Mandela Day, when actually what it means, and try and walk in Mandela's shoes, especially for those who are unfortunate, than us. And I think today it's very, very important that we do show our support and we commemorate and again celebrate it, in a good way.
Initially operating as Stop Hunger Now, the Rise Against Hunger Africa Hunger Eradication Program, which this year celebrates its 10th anniversary, includes raising funds for meals, meal packaging events, and distributing meals through a result-oriented nutrition program that monitors and evaluates the progress of beneficiaries to ensure maximum impact.
So as part of the Nelson Mandela Day, we're very grateful to Sandton Convention Centre for sponsoring this venue for us, and we've invited all the corporates around the Johannesburg area to come along. Each corporate makes a donation and they send a team of 20 volunteers to come and pack for 67 minutes. Each team is packing on average around about 5,500 meals in their 67 minutes. So our target today is about 350,000 meals. Each packet contains 6 meals, 6 adults, 10 children. It's a very balanced, nutritious meal. So it's got soup mix in it with dehydrated vegetables, it's got soya for protein, rice. We're very fortunate to have Tastic Rice, who's been our sponsor for 5 million meals this year. And it also has a vitamin sachet in each bag, which contains 23 different vitamins and minerals. So it's a very nutritious, balanced meal, which is perfect, especially for children between ages of 1 and 5.
The target this year is to pack 3 million meals in 9 cities during Mandela Month, with an anticipated 316,000 meals being packed at Sandton Convention Centre alone. Literally thousands of volunteers streamed into the Sandton Convention Centre to make that happen, packing boxes of nutritional meals and raising awareness of the need for nutritional support for children in non-government supported ECD centres. With morale being at an excited high and packers busying themselves on the floor to make the most of their shift, this warehouse-type environment was transformed into something resembling Santa's workshop and helpful little elves doing their bit to end hunger in Africa and South Africa. By 12 midday and about 6 sessions in, individuals from various companies volunteering their 67 minutes had packed a massive 180,000 meals.
By now, Madiba would say, please stop talking about me and start doing what I said. You know, I think that, let's face it, without being rude, I think that we are a little bit Mandela'd out in terms of, and I think that maybe I'm the brave one that's brave enough to say that, but I think that what I mean by that is I think that Madiba would be wishing that we had moved on to doing instead of talking.
We'd love to know what you've been doing with your 67 minutes on Mandela Day, so why not hit us up on Twitter or on Instagram. That's on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
The SABC News mobile app is your one-stop digital portal to all the news you need. Stay connected with the latest in breaking news. Watch the SABC News channel along with clips and live streams of all the big news events. And listen to all the SABC News radio stations live, including podcasts and much more. Simply download the SABC News app to your Android or iOS device from either the Play Store or the App Store. SABC News, independent, impartial.
SABC News continues to gauge our democracy throughout 2019 by highlighting the successes, failures, and challenges. Democracy Gauge is back on SA Today every Tuesday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. It's 25 years in review of all aspects of the South African democratic experience, and you remain in the heart of the story. SABC News, independent, impartial.
We stay on the visuals, they're busy shooting.
We drove around this.
Jeffreys Bay is home to the best right-hand surf break in the world. International surfers come from all over the world to try it out, and we sent Nadia out to do the same.
We might not have white sands in South Africa, but our beaches are beautiful, the water's warm and perfect all year round. Our ocean does not only attract sunbathers and swimmers, but it is also popular amongst the surfing community from all over the world wanting to ride the perfect wave. We headed down to Jeffreys Bay in the Eastern Cape, known for its popular giant waves, where we attended this year's World Surf League.
We came all the way to Jeffreys Bay for a world surfing competition, and we have the champions right here to teach us how to surf.
The World Surf League is the global home of surfing, dedicated to celebrating the world's best surfing on the world's best waves. It possesses a deep appreciation for the sport's rich heritage while promoting progression, innovation, and performance at the highest levels. Walking to the beach, we were filled with excitement until the tutorial began and the facial expressions changed. The lesson was not too bad, it still seemed doable. We were happy to have gotten our lesson without any giant waves. Well, at least I was. Precision is key. You have to jump on the board at an exact moment, balance yourself and paddle away on a strong wave, of course. Staying on the board and actually trying to stand is a different story altogether.
It's my second time surfing, but definitely the best time I ever had surfing. Water was very warm, the teachers were very patient. Definitely one of the best surfing spots in the world, and I see why now.
I started surfing when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and since then, for the last 30 years, oh no, I'm not that old. It's been amazing, the most incredible setup here, overlooking the waves. There's cold Coronas, there's lots of people, there's live music, and every year they put on an incredible show. And I think people from South Africa should celebrate this. You know, it's a world-class wave, and it's like a South African and world icon in the surfing world. So yeah, it's epic.
The night ended with everyone dancing to live music in the park.
As I mentioned earlier, we are in Exclusive Books right here in Sandton City, and boy do we have a surprise for you. While the world is celebrating Mandela Day, we are commemorating the 3rd year of the passing of Africa's fastest brother, Gugu Zulu. But more than that, we are celebrating Letseho Zulu and her new book, I Choose to Live Life After Losing Gugu. Exactly a year after Gugs passed, I stand at the base of Kilimanjaro and stare at the spot where my husband and I once stood. The last photo of us together is still clearly in my mind. At Adventure Couple ZA is ready to own Kilimanjaro. As I stand here a year later, there's an aching lump in my throat, but no tears. I feel his presence here. The 9-hour hike from Kibuhat to the summit Uhuru turns out to be one of the most physically challenging journeys I have ever experienced. While the gradient is steep, the real challenge lies in the lack of oxygen. My body is pushed to the brink of its physical limits, and reaching the summit becomes an arduous mental game. The first 2 hours pass by relatively quickly, but then as the air becomes thinner, fatigue sets in. I start to get really drowsy. It feels like I'm pushing forward in a stupor. Setting one foot in front of the other feels dreamlike. My eyelids are so heavy that I feel as though I'm sleepwalking. 3 hours of walking with limited oxygen starts to take its toll on my psyche. The last 4 hours of the hike are an out-of-body experience. We are all taking strain. We're here, a voice cuts through the thin air. I realize that ever since leaving Stella Point, I have been looking down as I trek. Now I lift my head and it dawns on me. We've reached Uhuru. It's 18th July 2017. A moment of silence passes. I look up at the sign. Congratulations, you are now at Uhuru Peak, Tanzania. I fall apart. Realizing that we have made it to the summit of Kilimanjaro, my walls crumble and I experience a surge of raw emotion. We did it, I whisper through tears. My heart aches with the pain of a year without Gugs, combined with the overwhelming joy of achieving our goal. I cry freely. I reach for my backpack and pull out a banner I made before the trek. Gugs' face stares back at me and I'm filled with a profound strength. We got to Uhuru. The TV crew from SABC, Tabu Madilola, and my friend Jillian pull me aside for a brief interview about how I feel.
I had to keep reminding myself why I needed to summit. And, thoughts and reminders and memories of my darling husband when I got to the summit rushed through my mind, and that's why it was such an emotional summit. But a victorious one as well, because I did it. We did it. I did it for us. I finished off what we started in 2016.
That was an excerpt from Lesego's new book, I Choose to Live, Life After Losing Gugu. Hundreds of fans flocked to exclusive books for her launch and a bit of a Q&A. But before that, we sat down for a bit of a one-on-one.
I think the reason why I opened up so much is because now that I've come to terms with it, there's so many people that were still left with question marks, and I thought, you know what, let me just fill in the gaps for them. Let me tell them exactly what went on the mountain. And this was my story that people have shown so much interest in and so much love that I felt I wanted to take them on a journey step by step, just so they can understand and see, exactly what it is that I went through and how I managed to continue to choose living life, because there is life to be lived.
Additionally, she shares all the lessons she's learned since bidding farewell to her daughter's father and all the mental shifts that followed, including taking off her ring.
One thing that I've learned is that grief actually teaches you a lot about yourself. A lot of those life lessons that I refer to from my past only really came to the surface once I lost Gugs. And that's when I then started, applying them to my journey to rebuilding. So yes, it's, I've learned a lot about myself, and I just wanted to share that with people, because a lot of people also don't realize that they've got those life lessons within them. They just don't know how to apply them to life.
The part where you took your ring off on the mountain, I was broken. Yeah. And I do understand the logic of it, but I was like, why did you choose to share that personal moment?
I wanted to share as much as I could. I had an amazing relationship with Gugs for 15 and a half years. And very often we had people asking us, how do we do it? So I literally wanted to give people a glimpse of our relationship while we were together and our relationship after. The reason why I shared, the moment of removing my ring is because people do actually ask you, why is your ring off? People then also in the same line ask you, when are you going to open yourself up to love again? So it's one of those things that you juggle and you don't know what to do when. I decided that I would honor him for a year, but the truth of the matter is, on our wedding day, we said, till death do us part. And we actually parted on the 18th of July 2016.
Great, thank you very much. And that's all we have here in our very special Mandela Day edition of Trendz Travel. We'd like to hear from you, so why don't you hit us up on our Twitter and Instagram pages right here. I'm Louise Scoble signing out. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
Sarah, who climbed Everest, she arrived here with much jubilation.
I took every African with me to the top of the world.
Most of the names on the wall are of soldiers who lost their lives in Somalia under the African Union mission in Somalia, AMISOM.
In Africa, we have Ubuntu.
We need to make more integration.
The highlight of the Zigama is the highest bungee jump in the world.
The main driver of that area is tourism.
It is estimated that about 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't been created yet. On Network, we don't shy away from having these conversations.
Nothing wrong with wanting to be a doctor, nothing wrong with wanting to be a lawyer, but we're talking digital skills.
We do coding, we do computer literacy. Beyond what you know, here's what else you can actually look into as a career.
If South Africa invests properly in tech, it can be the next China.
Be a part of our network, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.